Howdy, friends. It's Cat Daddy,
And Jazz, the 40-ounce connoisseur.
and we are super excited to be in the presence of Akela Cooper, who is graciously able to chat with us today. And before we get into this wonderful chat, make sure you pull up on all things Girl That's Scary and Dread Central because it's Black History Month, although we are Black 366, 365 over here, and we gonna be in your face all year round. But here we are giving you some really fun and cool content and cool conversations for ever. So let me get things started and dive right on in. Miss Akela Cooper, how are you doing? Tell the people about yourself. They should know about you, but if they don't,
Get
tell the folks about
familiar.
yourself.
Hello, everyone. Nice to be here. I am Akela Cooper. I am the writer of M3GAN and Malignant and upcoming The Nun 2, coming out September 8th this fall. I've done TV as well. I did Luke Cage, first two seasons, American Horror Story, season 6. I was on Grimm. I was on The 100, Witches of East End. I have been around the TV verse. I think that's it for like what you should know.
Yes. Okay. Everything. And of course, if y'all have not seen M3GAN, you need to do that. It was a great time. It was a pleasure. We got to check it out. I think at an AMC theater.
Oh, nice.
Yes, I think so.
I think we did.
Yes. And it was a packed theater and it was a time. So, Kat, I think you had the first question. You go ahead and jump into that one.
I do. So what drew you to the art of storytelling? Like, was this something that you always were super passionate about, or you just happened to just fall into it?
I think it was something I was always passionate about because my parents were like huge readers, and they encouraged all of their kids to read books. And I loved reading books. I love being able to be transported into a world in my head, essentially. It's like I had an active imagination as a child, and one day my mom was just like, you know what, you should start writing these down. Like you should start writing like all the stories that you're acting out, like in the backyard, just like write them down. I was like, oh, okay, that would be cool. Like the books that I read. She's like, yeah. And so I just started writing short stories from like a really young age, and I just took to it and I loved it. And it's always been my passion.
Excellent. That sounds like a really good time.
Mm-hmm.
Starting at a young age, and then clearly it spawned into this, which is major. So I do want to pull a direct quote from a Gawker interview. My interest is in seeing Black people in horror movies doing horror movie shit. Could you give us a few examples of times where you saw a movie and you saw Black people doing horror movie shit, and it was like, yes, I am rooting for this.
It's one of my all-time favorite horror movies is Tales from the Crypt presents Demon Knight, and it was directed by Ernest Dickerson, a Black man, and it stars Jada Pinkett, now Jada Pinkett Smith, a Black woman who is the lead in a horror movie. And honestly, like, her race had nothing to do with the plot. It wasn't centered around trauma or anything like that. It was like she found herself in this extraordinary supernatural situation and she handled her shit. And it was wonderful to just see like a Black woman in a horror movie, like a final girl, like a white final girl would be. And so that was like it blew my mind at the time, and still blows my mind. And that's kind of what I mean when I say it's like I just want to see Black people in like a regular ghost story. But like if you were to pitch that, you would have probably white executives going, it's like, oh, are the ghosts slaves? Are they like the slave masters? Like, is that what this is going to be? And it's just like, it doesn't have to be. It doesn't so yeah, and this isn't to say that like horror doesn't have to have social commentary. Horror usually does have some kind of social commentary, even if it's just white centered horror. It's just, I would like us to have the opportunity to just have fun horror movies where we get to go to a theater, we get to laugh, we get to scream, and we don't have to like litigate social justice stuff in our heads, you know?
Absolutely. I know you shared the many things that you've done in your career so far. You've worn many hats, you've had your hands in many pots. Well, what would you say is your most memorable moment of your career, or your time in horror so far? Obviously, we're still making new memories.
Yeah, we're still making a lot of new movies. Like M3GAN has been like a hell of an experience, I have to say. Probably like one of my proudest moments came on like Luke Cage, when we were in the writers' room and we call it breaking. It's coming up with the episode, and it was my episode 7 in season 1, and it's centered around Cottonmouth, and we knew we were going to kill him off. Spoiler alert. But like we knew we also needed that backstory. It had been something that Akela Cooper, our showrunner, had been like, he wanted to find like what was Cottonmouth's thing, like what was actually driving him. And I just remember, it's like, what if he is like a musical prodigy who had his dream deferred by his aunt? And like that's what makes him so bitter and angry, especially towards his cousin. And that just kind of like cracked open his character for all of us. And it's like, it's one of those things where it's like when you're in a writer's room and you pitch those ideas, or someone pitches that idea, and it just opens up the story for everybody, and everybody has that. It's like, oh my God, yes, response. And the story comes easily. Like those are incredible moments. And they feel really good, especially when it's you who's doing it. So yeah, that's to this day, like that's one of my proudest moments in a writer's room, among a couple. But yeah, that one sticks out to me.
That's dope. Thanks
Yeah,
for sharing.
Yes. So I do want to ask, of course, you have so many memorable moments and so much to come, because in Nun 2, I will be in the theater for that. But if you had endless dollars, like a gazillion dollars, what is your dream project? Like no one can say no. Like who would you work with? What kind of subgenre? If you're doing a subgenre, what kind of, if it's even horror, what kind of project would you do if you had endless resources?
Oh, if I had endless resources, I would start my own studio and just start giving those resources to my friends so they could also make the movies that they've been passionate about trying to sell in TV shows as well. Like I would probably also like do one of those old school things where I would just like find a struggling channel and buy it, and then it's our studio channel, and like just air all of the stuff that we want to see and the stories that we want to tell, as well as making movies. And I would do my own stuff. Like I have like personal projects that I am really passionate about. And again, it's like Black centered, not necessarily traumatic horror that I would just be like, yeah, I'm gonna give myself the money to make these. But I would, if you give me unlimited money, I'm bringing everybody on my boat. Like we're all having a party, we're all having fun. Yeah, because there are so many of us have those stories, and like we don't get to tell them. And like I have friends who, you know, like they have like really cool ideas, and then like they take it out and pitch it, and it just doesn't sell for whatever reason, and I'm heartbroken for them, because I'm like, that's a fucking cool idea, and it should be, you know, like in theaters or on TV. So yeah, that's what I would do with unlimited funds.
Yes, shout out to bringing the community up. You got to bring everybody with you. We all finna eat. Absolutely. If you're open to sharing, and for those who are out there who are interested in like writing or production work or any of those ballparks, what is your creative process like? Like, do you have any like rituals or things where you just like, nope, I just wake up and I'm running in and that's it?
Music plays a huge part of my creative process. Like I will make a playlist for whatever thing I am writing, like that music that fits the mood. And usually I'll try to be like, okay, what's the trailer going to be? Like, what are going to be those big moments that pop in the trailer? I know I'm going to need those scenes, and I know I'm going to need the music for that trailer in my head. So I'll make a playlist, and then I'll just start listening to the playlist and like letting scenes and moments and dialogue come to me, and I'll just write them down, usually by hand. When I start out, especially with my own stuff, I write everything by hand. And then once I have like what I think is enough, like once I have like the beginning, pretty much the middle, and the ending. If I don't have the ending, then I don't start writing anything really, because I need to know where it's going and how it's going to end. And so once I have the ending, I'll start like writing loosely what scenes I know I have, and then like fill in the gaps and like start building out the story, and then building out the characters and who those people are. And once I have all of that, I'll do a handwritten outline. Again, writing by hand helps me think as I'm writing. And I'll write it, and then as ideas come, I'll write them in the margins or on note paper and like make a note of where it goes. And then I'll handwrite it again, incorporating all of the stuff that's like popped in my head. And then once I have everything like in order, I kind of have like OCD where it's like it has to be neat and it has to be in order, and I feel like it has to be done. And then I'll type out the outline and then see what else comes to me, and then I'll write the script.
Excellent.
Oh,
Excellent.
thank you. I'm also a person that has to like write things down. Also, like in my brain, the way that thing works, like I have different colors. I have like a bag full of pens. It's the stationery for me.
Yeah, yeah. It's really, it's like, as writers, we always is like, ooh, do I need this notebook? Probably not, but I'm gonna buy it.
By like 5, because you
Yeah.
will need it.
Well, these are on sale. Don't mind if I
Oh
do.
yeah. I have so many of this. I have a stack. It's like, I will get to you someday, and then I just keep buying more.
They'll come in handy. They'll come in handy. Somebody's gonna need the paper one time. We all need stationery.
We're all clearly the same person.
Yes. Now, we talked a little bit earlier about how you got into story writing and storytelling, but I do want to know a little bit more about how you got into horror. Did you start watching horror at a young age? And what like movies or series or scenes in particular stuck with you through your adolescence? Like every once in a while, you would just think of a random scene from a horror movie. Because I know for me, it's the needle pit from Saw 2. So every once in a while, I just like, ooh, wow, she fell in that pit. Ooh.
Yeah, that was gross. That was I was just like, oh no, Jesus Christ. Yeah, very early. I have 2 older siblings, 5 and 10 years older. My sister is 10 years older. So my parents basically had free babysitters. And my sister did not give a shit what she was watching around us. She was a teenager. And so she would watch horror. She would watch A Nightmare on Elm Street. She would watch Friday the 13th, like all of those like B grade, like Fright Night. Like that was actually like my parents actually enjoyed Fright Night. So I can't just put that on my sister. But like I grew up watching it. And then sometimes it's like one of my dad's favorite early 80s movies was John Carpenter's The Thing. And he would put that on and watch it. And I would just toddle into the living room and be like, oh, this is on. Okay, cool. And it got to the point where I would recognize when the scary scenes were coming. So then I would just duck behind the couch. Because it was like at a young age, it's like if you see something, I'll probably have a nightmare about it. And so I was like, I don't need this in my head before I go to bed. So yeah, I would duck behind the couch, and then my dad would like reach behind the couch and like tap me on the head to let me know the scary part was over, and I would, crawl back over. But yeah, like a formative memory is like my sister was babysitting us, and I came downstairs and she was watching Hellraiser 2. And it was when the woman was coming back from hell out of the mattress, and she had no skin, and just running downstairs, like stop at the bottom of the step, because it's like I could see the living room TV, and it's this woman is just like rematerializing out of this bloody mattress. She has no skin, and it's just like, okay. And I turned around and I went right back upstairs, because like, I do not need to see whatever this is. And also I realized it was like a suppressed memory, but my sister at one point did watch Evil Dead. And that was the one time, like when they got to the tree assault scene, that was the one time my sister was like, yeah, no, neither of you can see this. Go, get out of the house. And so she kicked us out. And then years later, we went to see Army of Darkness in theaters. Like my parents took me to see Army of Darkness in theaters. I'm like, this is really cool, and this is really fun. And then I found out later that was the third in a trilogy. And I'm like, wait, what? So what are the first 2 movies? And so my friend and I rented Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2. And I was watching Evil Dead. I'm like, this feels really familiar. Why does this movie seem so? And then you get to that scene. I was like, oh, right. I have seen this. My sister kicked me out at this point. Okay, cool. And so it kind of was like full circle in that way. But yes, there are so many. Like my parents took us to see The Lost Boys in theaters, and she would cover my eyes at the scary parts, or what they thought was the scary parts, but she didn't cover my ears. So like I'm hearing screaming and clawing and all of this noise, and like your brain automatically fills in the gaps. Right. Like, so what I was imagining going on turned out to be far worse than what the scene actually was. Because like when it came out on video later on, and then it was okay for me to watch, I was watching it with them, and I was just like, you covered my eyes for that? Like, do you know what I was picturing in my head? Like, I terrified myself just with the imagination that I had. And so it's like, okay, cool. But yeah, it's stuff like that where it's like, yeah, no, your imagination can be like far more powerful than whatever people can put on screen.
That's why sound design is important, because I imagine the sound, and then the movie, because that's a movie I used to watch as a kid. But you look at the screen, it's like, wait a minute, it's not even that bloody. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad that you touched a little bit about Hellraiser, especially my girl coming back out the mattress. That is the top flight scene. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
She's ready to come fuck shit up. Do you have a favorite Cenobite?
I mean, it's gotta be. I mean, it's Pinhead, but then it's kind of like I'm a Transformers fan too, and so it's like if you say Optimus Prime is your favorite Transformer, it's like of course it fucking is. Like, come on, like that's the default. Pick another one. For me, it's Hot Rod, aka Rodimus Prime. I don't care what people say. I think I don't remember its name, but the Cenobite that had the CDs
Yes.
in his head.
Yes, from the third one.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. That
was
be
fun.
That would be my favorite after Pinhead.
Yes,
Okay.
between that and the Chatterer. Oh, especially when you start diving into like figuring out like how they got or who is actually what. And I'm like, wait a minute, how did you get here?
I know exactly. It's like, what were you in your apartment and they decided to use the CDs? That's just terrible, man. I hope it was good music.
Oh,
I hope you like those albums. Yeah.
Because they're gone
like,
and now they're a part of you forever. So really, hopefully it's a good marriage.
Yeah.
Because now those are the only tracks you get to play in your head. Upsetting.
Yep. Yep.
And since we're on horror movies and fun questions, what's a horror movie you would survive? Like, if you were set in a situation, you're like, no, I wouldn't die in this situation. It wouldn't be me.
That I would survive? Probably like Friday the 13th, because I am not a camper. And so when people are like, hey, you want to, it's like, nope. What's the history of this place? Fuck that. No, I'm not going. Like, catch me when you get back at the end of summer and like we'll go have lunch or something. Nightmare on Elm Street, probably not, because that's in your dreams. You can't really escape because you gotta sleep. Let me see. Not The Thing, because you're trapped in a winter hellscape. Can't run out of that one. Maybe Alien, because I would be listening to Ripley the entire time. It's like you do not let him back in there. Cool. Yeah. I would be Ripley. It's like I don't give a fuck where these orders come from. I'm not letting him back on this ship. I'll kill him myself if I have to, and you can arrest me when we get back to Earth. Like, yeah. Yeah. Hellraiser, yes, because I never would have touched that box.
Yes, because if you breathe on it, it's literally like I've solved myself. I didn't even
the second I see a white friend playing with that box, they are getting slapped hard.
Period.
Yeah. It's like, if you do that shit, do not do it in front of me.
Also, where did you get this from? Like, you got to get this from a peddler? No, wait a minute. You had to go to like a shady shop and somebody had to be like, hey, here's this box. Because listen, we never know how much it costs or anything. They're just like, so you want this box? And then now the box always end up back at the store because some kind of winged demon comes, picks it up every time.
Yeah, exactly. One of James Wan's underrated horror movies, Dead Silence. I would survive that because, like, from the moment that movie opened, I'm like, I'm not fucking bringing that ventriloquist dummy into my house. That thing would go in the trash. And if it turned up again, I would drive it out of town and set it on fire and then drive home. It's like, I'm not bringing that in my house.
Absolutely not.
That's
Absolutely
exactly
not.
how I think.
You like Slappy the dummy, and I don't like that because Goosebumps messed me up, and that dummy was so rude, and I was like, he's so evil. Look at his hairline. Look at how I don't know. Look at like the way he got his little tuxedo on. I don't trust him. He can't be trusted.
He's going to work.
He means business.
Dead Silence is definitely a top flight film. Like, I stand the James Wan universe, period. Like, Saw, I carry the Saw franchise on my back. So that's really just where I am. I am a fan. So we just have a few more questions before we get into our super fun game. Not that many at all. I know you talked a little bit about The Nun 2, and the whole street knows that M3GAN is coming out with a sequel. So what are you excited? What upcoming releases or projects are you excited about? And then if so, like which ones?
Like I am excited about The Nun 2. That was a lot of hard work that hopefully, is gonna pay off. But I'm like proud of what I was able to do with that one, and especially like being part of the Conjuring universe now. And I hope fans will be happy with what we've done. And especially I was like really, really excited when they cast Storm Reed in the film. because yeah, that character means a lot to me. And so yeah, it was like that was another like part of that meeting where I was like, I'm going to put a black nun in this, you guys. And they're like, okay, cool. It's like, sweet. So yeah, it's like bringing more black people into the Conjuring universe was another proud moment. And then yeah, I've got some like other stuff that's like we're writing, but like hopefully it'll get made. There's one that I'm really, really excited about that I don't think I can talk about just yet. But it involves like another like female centric monster, basically. So yeah, I think that'll be really cool if it gets made. But yeah, really, it's like really just seeing how people react to the Nun 2 is what I'm looking forward to.
Okay, excellent.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have one more. So of course we're all horror fans here, and there's a lot of movies that we clearly saw in theaters. What's a horror movie experience in the theaters that still sticks with you? Because I know a lot of people we saw Get Out. Sometimes we're the ones that everybody was in the theater like reacted, especially if you went to the black theater, because everybody was like whooping it, like literally clapping at the end, like yes, please. But like, what's a horror movie experience in the theaters that really like knocked your socks off?
I know the director is problematic. I know that. It's probably beyond problematic. But before we knew he was problematic, I saw Jeepers Creepers in theaters in college, not thinking that movie was going to be anything. Like, not thinking it was like, it's like, all right, it's going to be a monster, blah, 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 blah. I was blown away by how good that movie was. And like some of the cinematography, I can talk. Sorry, everybody. The cinematography and like the composition of the shots, like there are some really iconic like monster movie shots, like when the creeper, like when they have the shot through the Justin Long's car and you see like the creeper on the cop car behind them. It's just like, holy shit, that is so cool. And then the ending, which all horror movies usually have that wink, wink, nudge, nudge, like the final girl survived or the final boy survived, but we know the monster's coming back. The fact that the monster just outright won at the end of that movie was like, holy shit. And then the fact that it's like the song Jeepers Creepers, like we were leaving the theater and I was just like so buzzed. And like we ended up, it was college, so we ended up going to like this party that was like, it was in a small town, so it was like some random back room like speakeasy kind of thing that they'd rented out. So we had to like go down this dark alley, and like my friend starts whistling Jeepers Creepers, and I'm just like, "Fuck you, stop it!" like don't start singing that shit right now. We were in a dark alley. It's like 3 black women. Are you tempting fate? So yeah, it was like, and it was like the movie was that effective that we were all still like, "Stop doing that shit." So yeah, that was a really fun horror movie experience, because it was a group of black students at a horror movie just being blown away by what we were saying. Yeah, and I again, I know Victor Salva has multitude of problems, like you can Google it, but it's a good movie.
We're here.
Yeah, because I think I was a teenager when that came out, so I think I was like in high school. And I saw that in theaters. I didn't know who the director was, but that monster.
It's incredible. Yeah, I remember it was around the time the sequel came out is when it was revealed that like he's a convicted pedophile, everybody. And it's just like, oh shit. Damn it. We gave this man our okay.
Time to pack it up.
Yeah, you're just gonna close it up and walk away.
Yeah.
Also, have y'all noticed that in like movies where Justin Long is like getting his ass whooped for various reasons, there's always some sort of eye thing going on. And I think of that ending scene and I'm like, although, as you said, the director is like, true dash, we keep giving a callback in some way, shape, or form to something happening to Justin Long's eyes in all these movies. And I don't know whether to fight people or give him a high five, because I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah. Just that he's made some really good horror movies.
Yeah.
Really effective skin crawling things. I'm excited.
Yeah. Listen, it's Tusk still. That movie, you're a different person after you finish watching Tusk. Like, I can't go back to the person I was before I saw that movie.
No. It was
like it's like a horror cocoon. You come out a beautiful, scared as shit butterfly.
A stressed butterfly. Your
Yes.
wings off shaking like, please.
Yep. I need some coffee to calm my nerves.
And a hug.
I did not know we were gonna get that ending. Like I thought the ending was gonna be different, but I was like, I don't know why I didn't think this because Justin Long.
It's Justin Long in a horror movie, then it's going to end badly for him. So just brace yourselves, everybody.
Every time. Every time. And the newer one, he deserved it. But you know what?
That part.
He did.
He's kind of like the Sean Bean of horror. Is like, it's going to be shocking one day when he survives.
You're right. If he ever survives in a horror movie. I wonder if that's part of the car. He's like, no. This is how I'm going to die this time, okay?
Yeah.
Great. Great. Because if you live, I will genuinely be shocked. Like if you come out unscathed, I'm like, nah, who wrote this?
They're new. They're like, no. We're going to flip the trope that Justin Long dies all the time. We're going to change it to he lives this time.
You got me.
Yes.
I will be surprised.
Okay. So I'm gonna slide in to my favorite part when we start getting fun and chaotic. And only fun and chaotic because the randomness of what's coming out the cup. So for everyone at home, as I talked about, we're gonna play a game of Would You Rather, and I'm still stuck on this kitty cup because I'm obsessed with mugs, and that's where we are. I'm gonna pull out 2 different scenarios, and you will let us know, would you rather do A or B? You ready?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. I know. I'm sorry. All right. We got one. I be folding these papers like origami. Okay. I think I know the answer to this one. Would you rather live on Elm Street or be a counselor at Camp Crystal Lake?
Okay. I think I'm going to say counselor at Camp Crystal Lake because I would not be having sex with anybody. And I would keep my car keys on me at all time. So when shit pops off, it's like, I'm going to the store, you guys, I'll be right back. And then I don't come back.
And you don't come back.
You're going to get some supplies in town.
I'll be right back. I hope you actually don't come back because you made it and you just drove off into the sunset instead of
exactly. Yeah, no, I'm going to go find like a nice hotel and just like, wait out the weekend and then, check the news on Monday.
Listen. Then you see the news, you in the Marriott, minding your business.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, look, a slaughter. Oh, that's wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yep.
Won't be going back there.
Okay, I have one last question, y'all. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, whoa. Y'all see how tight I folded these papers up? I was having too much fun this week. Okay. Last question. Okay, would you rather be stuck in a saw trap or have Maud as a caretaker?
Oh God, is Maud the woman from Barbarian?
No, Saint
No,
Maud.
Maud from Saint Maud.
Oh shit. Oh.
Ooh. Yeah, no worries. I know.
Because I just thought about it. Oh man. I'm
gonna take Maud. Yeah, because some of those saw traps. I mean, if it was like the one where she had to like find the key in the dude's guts, I could live with myself.
Okay.
I'm just gonna assume you've done some bad shit like I have to get here, so let me get in them guts. But yeah, it depends on the trip. And I'd like to think it's like maybe I could talk Maud out of it, but yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Maud.
Okay. Yeah,
I too would go with Maud.
Yeah, I will go with her, but she's quietly scary.
Yes.
She's like, wow, I'm coming for you. The Lord said, we had a private conversation. We had a secret meeting without you. Okay.
I just had a complete brain fart. I'm like, is it the woman from Barbarian called Mama? Did I miss?
Did they give her a name? I don't know.
No, they called her Mama. Her name was Mama.
Yeah, I think it was just Mama.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Mama.
I mean, that's a different type of trauma. It's like, can I get bottle fed? In that one? Do I have to? Does it have to be titty feeding?
That bottle had hair on it, bro. I was like, please. I'm
lactose
intolerant. Okay. Well, I am, but does breast milk count? I don't know. I would have been stressed. You got to live off of breast milk. I know it smells wild. I know it smells very tart. Like in that cave.
But that's another horror movie that I would survive to go back because like the second, like I understand having to spend the night, but The second I walk out of that house the next morning and I see that neighborhood, I am like going to the nearest hotel. And it's like, I'm just going to post up here until you have a room open. Like, I'm just going to hang out in the lobby. I'm not going back to that house. I'm not.
I would have left the key. I would have said, I'm not coming back. Left a little note. Here, my little number since we was flirting. The key is out here. I won't be back. I won't be back. I will just drive home after the interview.
It's like, I'm like, you had your meeting, girl. You had your interview. Go home. Drive home. Why are you back there?
I don't know why. She was like, I'm just going to pack up. Girl, that car would have been packed before I left.
Very much so. Very much so. I'm not exploring shit. It's like, I am gone. I am so gone.
I closed my eyes and saw the neighborhood, and I was so floored. Like, what are these choices? What are you doing this?
Then you went back like twice. You kept going back, ma'am. Yes, you're a saint, but also
couldn't be me.
No. I will call the cops for you one town over.
Yes. You're so kind. Because they barely listened when she made it. Right. When she made the call right there, like, they were just like, girl, see you later. No.
Yes.
Mm-mm.
So and then it's like you walked, because the beautiful thing was she was just like, nope, I'm not doing it. And then she walked down into that basement and saw the torture room. I'm going to be polite and call it. I was like, I'm leaving him a note and I'm gone.
Ejectocito, cuz I'm out.
Yes.
Like, I can't believe and then she was like, just stay while I'm not staying. I'm staying. If I stay, I'm gonna stay outside with my keys in my hand. And if you don't come up when I call you, I'm gonna say you trapped down there. I'm gonna call 911 and tell the fire department that the building has collapsed and you are trapped, and they can deal with it. They can sort it out. I'm gonna let God sort that out. This is above me now. I'm out.
Yeah. Not staying in that house. Another hour. After it's like, I will give her, it's like, yeah, but then again, it's like, does your GPS not work? I would have left right then and there.
Listen, I mean, I wouldn't have stayed the night. I would have been like, wow, that's good. I guess I'm gonna have to just drive downtown, pay the hotel to park in their hotel garage, and I'm gonna just lay flat like a corpse. Yep, like this.
Sleep in the car.
Be ready for the interview.
Yeah. No way. Like, not in that neighborhood.
No. Not by yourself.
I'm stressed, y'all.
That movie was fun, though. I saw that in theaters too. That was a ride. Everybody was yelling at the screen, like, no.
It's like, oh, what are you doing? Stop. Yeah. And then Bill Skarsgård.
Yes.
Versus a wall, as my friend called it.
A losing battle with the wall.
Indeed.
A losing battle.
Indeed.
Well, he should have listened to her. That's what he get for not listening to Black women. You should have listened to her the first time and just should have called the police. But no, you wanted to go explore for yourself. Well, that's what you get. You play stupid games, you get stupid prizes.
I'm like, you can find out what's down there after you called the police to go down there.
Listen, but no, they was like, let's just go down to the creepy tunnels under this house that we didn't know was here, with a string to pull open the door after we walk past the room with the camera in it and blood stains.
Yeah.
My hands are steepled. Like, just
choices were made, not good ones.
They made choices to bring us a movie. That's what they did. I support them for that.
And it was fun.
It was.
It was.
But yes. Thank you so much for joining us for this chat. We had a blast, okay? And I'm going to be thinking about people opening that door with that string for a minute. Just pulling she was like, yeah, and I'm going to go in. Someone get our sister in some help. But yes, this was a blast. We had so much insight from your process, and we are super excited for everything you have coming out. And we wish you continued success. Okay, exponential success.
This was fun.
Yes. Thank you for sharing space with us. I'm so excited. I'm just like,
I'm trying not to like go off of the camera like, whoa. Woo! So I'm trying to keep my composure. But yes, so thank y'all for joining us for watching this interview. And again, all month long and all 366, 365, we have things for Black History Month, Black writers, Black podcasts, and articles and everything. So check us out at Dread Central and at Girl That's Scary. And until next time, y'all, bye.